working in the White House, stacking high to load, dreaming of a day when I break the code beneath the neon lights. I'm a silent night, turn into a beast, ready for the fight. Oh, I'm rising. Can you feel the flame? In that ride, master, remember my name.
So, for the holidays, my wife got me a book that was written by AI, I guess. Oh, of course it was. I mean, it was absolutely written by AI, but she got me this book, ordered it online for me, and it is called Internet Riot Master. It's called Internet Riot Master. Inciting digital chaos while lifting heavy things in real life. It's, she entered into a prompt. She entered a prompt into a website, and it spit out this book as a gift to me. So it's called Internet Riot Master: Inciting Digital Chaos While Lifting Heavy Things in Real Life, which is what I do in real life for my job. I just lift things up and put them down. Anyway, it says this is by me, which of course it isn't, but it's fun. It's a hardcover book. It's got my picture on the front for some reason. It's a very nice gift. It's funny. Because it's the weirdest kind of word salad. So I think I'm going to make this into an audiobook for you lovely Patreon members, and I'll just go chapter by chapter. There are 20 chapters total, and I'll add things because I'm an idiot who just sees these things as opportunities. So let us begin. The chapter 1, the Internet Riot begins. Oh, Jesus, you're going to hear me flipping pages because it's right here in front of me. Just so you know, that's... So if that's annoying, just picture me in front of you, reading this book to you. Okay, chapter 1. The Internet Riot begins. The boredom of warehouse life. Ah, the warehouse, where enthusiasm fades faster than those cheap fluorescent lights flickering above my head. It's a world of towering shelves and conveyor belts, a realm dominated by the dull but harmonious sounds of grinding gears and the gentle thud of cardboard boxes meeting their ultimate fate. My day job, if you could call it that, consists of picking things up and putting them down. Kind of like a gym session gone wrong, where instead of flexing biceps and monitoring heart rates, what? Gym monitors heart rates. I don't go to a gym. Do they do that now? They hook you up to an EKG and just beep, beep. I don't know. Kind of like a gym session gone wrong, where instead of flexing biceps and monitoring heart rates, I'm scoping out inventory and earning a living wage. Or slightly less than a living wage. My pay sucks. It always has, but whose hasn't, right? Everybody's pay is not what they would like it to be. In a way, I suppose you could say I'm getting ripped, but more in a I just lifted 100 pounds of tissues and paper towels kind of sense. You might think boredom translates into tranquility, but it doesn't. It's more like running It's more like running in place on a treadmill that's broken and stuck at a brisk walk. There I am, shuffling through herds of boxes, and I catch myself daydreaming about wild adventures. Like, what if I suddenly discovered a secret passage behind the stack of toilet paper? Or worse, what if a warehouse superhero... What? Or worse, what if a warehouse superhero surfaces and everyone has to choose sides between the hero of quick returns and the villain of damaged shipments? This I don't know what AI thinks a warehouse does, but what the fuck is this? It's a return center, and also, anyway, instead of mindless lifting, perhaps we'd engage in epic battles with errant packing tape as the weapon of choice. Spoiler alert, I'd probably be the first to get entangled, stuck in a comedic downward spiral like a failed Cirque du Soleil audition. What the fuck? I'd stave off the increasing monotony. I've adopted what I call creative distraction. Jesus, it kind of does describe me. In between hauling pallets of merchandise, I weave vivid tales in my mind to escape the mind-numbing reality surrounding me. The boxes become treasure chests. Wow, this is not what I do. I live in my head a lot. And in reality, I do. I cruise around, and sometimes I'm just so absent-minded, I forget where I'm going, and how many I'm supposed to be, how many of this or that I'm supposed to be taking wherever onto shelves with machines and forklifts and of various kinds and things like that. And I just kind of drift off, and I think of, like, what if, what's this warehouse going to look like in 100 years? Is it just going to be a field of nothing? And if so, like, what would that, would it be a forest? You think it's going to be the town? And what are people going to think of this forest? They're never going to remember there was even a warehouse here. It's all just meaningless. See, this is what I do. This is what is in my head while I'm cruising around on a forklift, taking pallets to and fro. Where was I? In this book, apparently, I escape the mind-numbing reality surrounding me by thinking the boxes become treasure chests and forks of pallet jacks turn into locomotives. And every aisle transforms into an uncharted territory, just waiting for the intrepid explorer, that's me, to carve his name into the forgotten landscape of consumer goods. Sure, my coworkers politely nod in response when I regale them with the creative intricacies of my make-believe world, but deep down, I know they're plotting an escape route. Interestingly enough, it was this very boredom that spawned the first flicker of rebellion deep within me, a desire to step beyond the mundane. As I hoisted yet another cardboard box filled with nothing but the darkest of mysteries, I mean, does anyone really know who buys 48 rolls of single-ply toilet paper? I do. I felt an inkling of a digital revolution surfacing within my soul. Yes, the internet, the vast repository of chaos and comedic gems that it is, beckoned me with its promises of riots, memes, and cat videos. Everything began to surge like a bucket of cold water splashed on zombies lounging on a couch. What the fuck? The boredom of warehouse life was my disenchantment anthem, screeching against the backdrop of online pandemonium. This led to my entrance into the chaotic world of internet riots. To be straight, I have no idea what an internet riot is. This is some weird shit. But anyway, I'll move on. But let's get this straight. I wasn't some self-proclaimed anarchist ready to lead my merry band of warehouse heroes into the depths of the internet. No! I was more like a goofy dressed up in a What? No. I was more like a goofy dressed up in revolutionary clothing, awkwardly waddling into serious discussions about social injustice while absent-mindedly lifting dumbbells. It's really going hard on the lifting things up and putting it down, just so you know, that's what that is. Soon the idea of using my keyboard to rattle cages became as enthralling as the rush of adrenaline when receiving a shipment of bubble-wrapped kitchen gadgets. Thus, amidst the blaring intercom announcing lunch breaks and warnings of hairnets, what the fuck, required in the bakery section. There is no bakery section in the refrigerator warehouse I work in. A spark ignited in my brain. I realized there's a distinct power in online chaos. A power that made me feel alive, even when I was buried under a mountain of cardboard. It was a devious mix of procrastination, self-inflicted social responsibility, and utter boredom propelling me forward, fast-tracking my evolution from a humble warehouse worker into an internet provocateur who would soon ripple through the digital landscape like a stone cast into a still pond of apathy. And so it was. The mundane nature of my warehouse existence morphed into a rich tapestry of internet shenanigans, waiting to be woven together. But the journey from being just a guy lifting boxes to an agent of digital chaos didn't happen overnight. It took time, creativity, and let's be honest, a fair dose of boredom that resided just below the surface of my relentless pursuit of unconventional adventures. Little did I know that this boredom would thrust me into exciting realms of mischief that defied logic and promised a world quite unlike my stifling warehouse paradise. How one meme sparked a movement. It all began innocently enough. One fateful afternoon, while dodging an overly friendly cardboard box, what the fuck? What? That seemed to have a vendetta against my well-being. I stumbled into the magical world of memes. Not those boring, awkward penguin types. What the fuck? What is the internet? What does AI on the internet think of the internet? What does it think the internet is? Apparently it's memes of penguins. Okay. It's why it would think. Anyway, not those boring, awkward penguin types, but the soul-stirring artifacts of our digital age. Memes possess a unique power. They're cultural currency that can ignite revolutions, summon laughter in the darkest of times, or just confuse folks who still haven't quite gasped. Not those boring, awkward penguin types, but the soul-stirring artifacts of our digital age. Memes possess a unique power. They're cultural currency that can ignite revolutions, summon laughter in the darkest of times, or just confuse folks who still haven't quite grasped the concept of a deep-fried image.
Oh, Elton, you awkwardly strange, dumb chimpanzee. How you tickle us so. Hi, listener. You're listening to a preview of just some of what you'll find on the Elton Reads a Book a Week Patreon page. For just $4 a month, you can enjoy this and more from Elton. You'll also get the episodes early and ad-free. Plus, you'll get exclusive artwork with every episode, access to different channels on the official Discord, and on and on. Elton is like an overcaffeinated gerbil with too much free time, so he's churning out stuff all the time. What is with the animal fixation all of a sudden, Jenna? They are cute. So, join today! But since this is the regular feed, here are some ads. What a shame.
I was immediately hooked. This, I thought, could be the spark that ignites my very own online chaos. It wasn't long before I discovered the famous distracted boyfriend meme. What? In this glorious visual, a young man, where the guy's looking back, I think that's what it's describing. Why it's describing it or why it's including it, I don't know, but, whatever. In this glorious visual, a young man is seen casting a longing glance towards some enticing figure while his girlfriend stands by in disbelief. I remember chuckling to myself in the break room, nearly choking on my protein bar. I do not eat protein bars. If I'm in the break room, I'm slugging back probably a soda, like a sad, like the sad diabetic I am. Because I have diabetes. And so no protein bars, just probably a water or a soda. That's as far as I go. Chips. Yeah, no, I eat chips sometimes too. Anyway, according to the book, I'm choking on my protein bar. This speaks to the warehouse experience, I shouted louder than intended. Which is something I actually do sometimes. Not shouting about warehouses, but I do speak louder than I intend to. Drawing awkward stares from coworkers enjoying their mid-shift snacks. It's all about choosing between mundane tasks and wild internet shenanigans. That was the moment when something primal struck a chord in my being. The itch to create my own meme, to upend the stifling boredom of the warehouse experience and channel my inner meme lord. What? What is a meme lord? Using my well-worn smartphone, probably also loaded with questionable photographs of my lunch. What? Who's taking questionable photographs of my lunch? Is this book saying I put my dick in my lunch? That's the only reason why it would be questionable, right? What else would I be doing? Like, I don't know, posing with it? See, I don't know. That nudity, that's what I think. Nudity. Questionable photographs of your lunch, there's some nudity happening there. Anyway. Probably also loaded with questionable photographs of my lunch. I crafted a meme depicting a warehouse worker overwhelmed by a pile of inventory versus the digital chaos of internet activism. That is a weird meme. I slapped on a catchy slogan and hit post with the enthusiasm of a squirrel discovering an acorn. What? And just like that, I unleashed the digital hounds. Within hours, my post took off like a rabid raccoon at a picnic, drawing likes, shares, and comments faster than I could have imagined. My fellow warehouse warriors chimed in with their own infinite wisdom about the juxtaposition of lifting boxes versus inciting digital chaos. The floodgates had opened! As the meme rippled across the internet, I felt like some sort of digital deity, an internet Moses, if you will, leading others to the promised land of snarky commentary and light-hearted rebellion. Suddenly, I was being tagged left and right, creating a whirlwind of engagement that was intoxicating. The more absurd the comments, the more I wanted to provoke with actual posts. It became this delightful game of, can I make you laugh while simultaneously riling up the comment section? Hell, what the fuck? I was in A digital arena throwing red meat to hungry trolls, and you betcha I was enjoying every second of it. The meme somehow transformed into a movement. People started crafting their own ridiculous images, and with it came a sweet symphony of collective laughter. We fashioned a group that coined itself the Anti-Boredom Brigade. Our mission: to combat the numbing monotony of everyday life with doses of humor to Our mission: to combat the numbing monotony of everyday life with doses of humor to potent it, could blast away the tedium of endless warehouse shifts. Suddenly, I wasn't just the guy lifting boxes, I was the face of online rebellion. Our memes spread like wildfire. I couldn't even keep track of how many times my face was being used for a meme of a guy freaking out about discovering a shipment of fun-colored office supplies. What the Of course, the internet is a vast, often chaotic mire. Among the fun and silliness, there are serious discussions about workplace dynamics, social justice, and life goals. People began asking questions about the purpose of our memes. Was it just a way to distract ourselves from the painful reality of life? Or was there something deeper at play? The worst part, I had to confront the fact that the more successful I became, the more self-reflective I had to be. Who knew that my foray into meme making would necessitate such heavy philosophical pondering? I was the lion tackling the nitty-gritty of existential crises with puns and pithy captions. Nevertheless, the beauty of this entire meme-based movement was that it brought people together, each joining the fray with their own outlandish experiences. It was an unexpected camaraderie, born not just from boredom, but from collective absurdity. I became a digital ringleader, effortlessly guiding my newfound followers through the bizarre world of memes, encouraging everyone to embrace their inner weirdness and channel that into creativity. And even while the overarching mission may have started as a simple antidote to boredom, we somehow evolved into a quirky community, dedicated to turning the mundane into magnificent mayhem. In retrospect, with a few digital chants and a grand flourish, we hadn't just created some meme magic. We had sparked a revolution. It seems to be stuck in a loop here. One fueled by chaos, absurdity, and the unyielding desire to laugh. And all it took was one little dick joke about a man flopping his penis at... Whoa, what? No, I'm kidding. All it took was one little... Can you imagine just the AI took a turn? Dicks and dicks and dicks. And all it took was one little meme to incite a movement. As I became the unexpected harbinger of digital chaos, and despite my initial awkwardness, the meme gods seemed to bless me with the gift of laughter and shared shenanigans. Shared shenanigans. Okay, I'll stop there for a sec. I'll stop there. Until next time. Enjoy that little bit of this weird fucking book. What a weird... It's like it's getting stuck in a loop here, but that's AI. I mean, if you know how AI works, you know that it's not as fucking great as everyone thinks it is, and it won't be for a very long time. It's not very creative. It does get stuck in loops and tends to repeat itself and just rewords the same fucking idea over and over and over again. It gets pretty repetitive. Maybe we'll talk about AI more as I read more of my weird Internet Riot Master book. Until next time, folks, I love you. Thank you for joining the Patreon. I really appreciate it. Any questions, comments, concerns, all that shit, you can message me directly here. And I will absolutely hear it and answer you right back as soon as I get it. And ask me whatever. It doesn't even have to do with the books or anything. Or the podcast, which I'm still working on. So, thank you for taking the time out to hear this and joining and everything. I really do appreciate you so much. And I'll see you next time. Probably I'll record some more of this tomorrow. But until then, have a wonderfully beautiful day and time or night, if that's what this is. I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh, I'm riding. Can you feel the frame in that ride mountain? Remember my name. Oh, ain't this life a bitch, Lord? Ain't this life a bitch? In that ride mountain, no one give a shit. No one give a shit.